What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. And this week, sorry, it's kind of a late posting, but for a very important reason. This week on the podcast is Kool-Aid, and we have Enrique. What's up, bro?
Hi.
Welcome back, dude. I know you haven't been on so many at this point, but welcome back. And the star of the show today, WaifuWars. What's up, dude?
Hi. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that Enrique's here, and because I know there's certain people that actually like listening to Enrique and I, so we hope to bring a special podcast for you guys, and hopefully try not to shit talk as much as we can.
Am I just a Steve-O of our podcast community?
I don't know at this point. Either way.
Like just whatever.
I felt that Base Damage has been the red-headed stepchild of the Weiss community for a bit anyway, but that's whatever. And I think Enrique's call just died on us. But with that, if he gets back in, it's all good. If not, I'll add him back in just a bit here. Regardless, while we're waiting for that, he just died. Okay, so Bentley is back from the glorious land of Nippon, and has just gotten back from Worlds this past week, my dude. For anyone who hasn't been under a rock and doesn't know what all went on, sadly, he did not win. But, bro, I am so glad you went and had that experience and whatnot. And, like, even just, like, being able to... Shit, I've been wanting to go to Japan for years. Like, dude. Like,
yeah.
One of your Facebook posts, you were like, this is the mecca of anime nerds or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, when I got to Akihabara.
Yes, dude, I want to go there so bad. Yeah, it is sad. What place did you actually get? Like,
I
overall?
dropped out after the third round because I lost the second time, so there's no point.
Yeah.
So if you drop out, then you're not actually put on the rankings page for after the final results have been tallied.
That's fair. Like, admittedly, with as few people as they had, like, if you still had a one loss, you had the chance of getting back into it. That's completely and totally understandable. With two losses, there's no real getting in there, even after top cut. So I can understand that.
Yeah, I'd rather drop out. Like, they told us, if you want to drop out, you can just let them know, and then you can just go do whatever you want for the rest of the day.
Enrique just messaged, my laptop died. Yeah. Give him a sec. So I'm going to try to add him back. But yeah, so once again, for anyone who hasn't really seen the news, there is basically AOT won Worlds. In fact, AOT got first, second, and third place at Worlds. So that
tells you a lot about something.
Yeah, that's going to get brought up later in another podcast, put it that way. But yeah, that was definitely a thing. Alright, you back in, bro?
Yeah, my thing said it had 43%, but apparently just said nope.
It said nope. So either way, you're back in. It's all good.
I had 3 climaxes in my deck with 6 cards left in deck. Took 3.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get to that because from what Bentley told us, that was some bullshit. Which, as much as it's still congrats for Riaz. Like, I know he been wanting to win this anyway. But his opponent Christian just got oh god, that was so bad.
What he deserved? It's okay, we understand.
More on that later. I'm actually going to get Riaz in on another podcast. Enrique will try to get you in on that at one as well if we can time it just right. Which I'll get you out.
Good.
I'll get you about that.
My computer doesn't die halfway through again.
Yeah, I'll get you on that after this podcast is over, but it's all good. But for the most part for this one, obviously, we're mostly just going to be asking Bentley a whole bunch of stuff for, obviously his experience and whatnot. Like, obviously some stuff was told to us as it was going on, because he was like, yay, I have internet, I can message you guys a play-by-play for stuff for a lot of things going on. But I'm just going to start...
Rounds.
Yeah, I know, right? But, dude, in whatever words you want to, say how was the experience? Like, just give us your take on it and everything.
Well, I'm glad that I got the chance to actually go and compete at Worlds, like no matter what my results would have been, because like the whole trip was free, and like just being able to represent like my region and stuff, like actually like being a Floridian and like going there was nice. And then meeting like new people, like some of like the known people in the Weiss community was nice. Like I'm more like, for people that don't know me, like when you meet me, I'm more like shy and like reserved. So I'm not like how you listen to me on like the Base Damage podcast or like my WaifuWars channel. So I'm more like shy. So I'm the person that doesn't like to go up and start a conversation.
Especially if they're white. That's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. That's just
you gotta be drunk on that one for that.
Yeah. But the whole experience was nice, and like being able to, they give you a lot of time actually to just go do whatever you want. But there's a lot of shit that happened during like from us getting to Japan to like me trying to leave Japan. So if you guys want to go in depth with that, I can.
Which Weiss was the second day, so you basically had all of day Saturday to just do whatever the fuck you wanted, right?
Yeah, the thing was like for my experience at least was like I got to the airport from Tampa at Thursday morning, and then I got to Texas around like noontime. But then like there was like a 2-hour delay for Texas to Japan, so that was annoying. And then the flight to Japan was obviously long. It was like almost 14 hours.
Yeah.
And when we got to Japan, like mostly everyone was like there and ready, but there was like 2 people, I'm not going to mention any names, like they didn't show up, so we had to like literally wait like almost over 2 hours at the airport basically.
Can you
and
tell
like
what country though?
US.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they were some people coming in on a different flight basically.
Yeah, because
Okay.
everyone came from like different airports
Yeah.
and stuff. But basically that person didn't have like internet on their phone, I guess, too, which is understandable. Because you'd be surprised, because in Japan there's actually, like, people say there's Wi-Fi, which is true for some places, but most places there isn't Wi-Fi. But yeah, he got lost too, so we didn't. There was like no way of contacting him until like, I guess somehow we just like went to the hotel or whatever just to meet up. So if that didn't happen, like the whole delay of like getting to Japan earlier from Texas and to like not having to wait at the airport, then we could have spent like more time just like getting like situated within Japan that day as well. Like, so you could like travel, because once we got to the hotel and like we could check, like we checked in and stuff, we basically were allowed to do whatever we wanted that night. So yeah, I just went. That night I met Yue and Christian at like a fast food place, and we just like ate. Like I didn't really talk that much to them. I just like said hi and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all good.
I wanted to be more social though, because I don't want to be like that typical lonely anime person. Like you see in the anime, like I just like a silent person in the classroom.
I'm fairly certain that was a majority of the people who had gone there for this game anyway. Like I know some ways, like some people who play card games and whatnot can be a bit more outspoken. Like, but for
honestly,
them,
fuck card fight players. Like they're so fucking loud and like they're so rude too. Like I'll like try to say like excuse me, like I have to like get through you guys or whatever, and then like at one point they like wanted to take a picture or some shit, and I like literally had to wait like fucking 2 minutes for them to take a picture. It was like annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
oh, dude, you don't even know. If I was there, it'd be mayhem. I'd probably get arrested.
That's how it was at Atlanta for when me and Kyle had gone to regionals. It was. I don't usually like talking about other like people with their card games, but oh my god, where the fucking like Buddy Fight and Vanguard people were just loud as shit.
Yeah,
like,
at least with like Weiss people, like they're like friendly and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing also in like Japan, like I don't think some people understand is that Japan, like with their society, like when you go on like when you go on like a transportation place or just in public, like people are generally not as loud as like Americans and stuff.
Mhm.
It's like a form of like just how they act and whatever.
Mhm.
So you don't hear like a Japanese person like yelling across the room or whatever, trying to get another person's attention.
Yeah, unless the other person fucked up and they got to call them out on it. That's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, no, that's understandable. Like what, like once again, like you said with Weiss people, I like. Sorry, I keep going back to my experience for regionals. Every single person I played against never had a single problem with them. Some really nice people. So, anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So after all the shenanigans and running around of Akihabara and whatnot, which actually, what was your favorite place to go to in Akihabara? I kind of want to know, like.
For like Akihabara, I went there with a friend that I made on Saturday, Saturday morning, because he's been to Japan before and he like said he'd take me around the card shops and stuff like that.
Oh.
But like we didn't have Wi-Fi. Well, we have Wi-Fi in the hotel, but we don't actually have like internet like on our phones. So I had to like we have to go to Akihabara. Like we have to look. Thankfully, there's like maps across like the city. The streets and stuff, so you can kind of get an idea of where you're going. And Akihabara isn't too far from our hotel. It was only like a 12-minute walk. But I guess once we got there and we got like I purchased a SIM card for my phone, whatever, so I could have like just data. So that's when I was able to actually talk to you guys during that time.
Yeah, you said something about that.
I guess my favorite place in Akihabara, I like the secondhand shops. Like, there's not like a specific one I like, and I think it's a cool idea where like there's used figures or whatever. Like they still look good and like new, they look almost new, but they're just out of the box or whatever, and they're like a really cheap price.
Did you buy the used computer and the parts to fix it so you could get on Tanaka's black market website? Oh wait, sorry for the P5 reference there. Anywho, sorry, bad jokes. Just you know me, I'm gonna
There's a
say
lot
bad
of
jokes.
card shops in Akihabara, which I thought was cool.
Oh yeah, no, the pictures and whatnot that you shared are just like, look at this stuff, dude, it's so awesome. It just makes me want to go there even more, like straight up.
For most card shop places in Japan, the way they display their cards or singles is they put them in like a case, or whatever, like a clear case, and they display their cards vertically and stuff horizontally, like how Americans do it, so it's easier to actually like see the card. And then instead of just having to like look down and like try to like move your head to like find what card you want, you can just like have a glance straight and like know what card that you want. And then some places in some card shops, like you have to fill out a form or whatever, and because they're like locked in that case, so you have to like write like the card number, and I think you just need to write the card number and the quantity, because like if you can't write Japanese, and that kind of sucks. But generally, you can just like point to what you want, whatever.
So like, I don't know how to write the numbers down for this. Dat one. Oh man, no. Also, Enrique, don't let me be like the one asking all the questions. If you got any questions you want to ask him, by all means, go for it, dude. But
Oh, okay.
But I know I end up like talking and asking a whole bunch of questions and whatnot, so I apologize, but it's whatever. But anyway, getting to the day of like of Worlds of Sunday, it was. So just take us through like as far as your rounds or whatever as far as explaining how it was for you.
Well, the night before that, we had a welcome dinner or whatever, just to like get our goodie bag, and our goodie bag came with like a mat and like a deck list that we have to write out for the next day. And then we also got the Weiss sleeves, like the Weiss Schwarz sleeves, where it just has like the logo of Weiss on the back, like how you expect from like the back of your card.
Were you required to use those, or did you?
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to use those. And then we couldn't double sleeve them too, so it felt really weird.
Yeah, I've seen that for Yu-Gi-Oh, like nationals and whatnot. Like they have to basically all like use particular sleeves that are handed to them. Like they're given the sleeves and they can keep them or whatever. But I have seen that before where it's like you have to use these, you can't use your own, stuff like that. I didn't know about the no double sleeving though, so I guess that's fair though.
But basically, for the Day of Worlds, like they told us to wake up at like 8 o'clock and meet at the lobby.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like when uh like most people they woke up at like 7. Like I couldn't really go to sleep that night, so I just woke up at like 4:30 and just like tried to go to sleep. I couldn't.
Mhm.
But basically, everyone like just. I guess no one like showed up. Like none of the Bushiroad staff showed up at the hotel, so I guess everyone just assumed we should just like walk there. But like I was one of the few people that actually like left. So I was with like 2 other people, and like we like pretty much dashed our way to uh, the venue. But we
Mhm.
left at like 8ish. But like the venue didn't actually start till 10:30 for their 10 o'clock for their tourney or whatever.
Mhm.
But then we had to go through deck check when we got to the venue, but that didn't take too long.
Yeah, I figured because it was. How many people was it? Like for the English side alone, for Weiss.
I don't have an exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's like less than 50.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I guess for that it wouldn't take them nowhere near as long. Obviously, like, admittedly for regionals they don't do like every single one of the deck checks. I think until later, until you're like they do the top cut. I could be wrong on that, but either way.
Yeah. That's how it was for spring circus. They didn't do deck check till after top 8 was announced.
Mhm. That's where they're sitting at. They're going, all right, how many of these little fucks do we have to kick out? But
But deck check was definitely much faster
mhm.
from the worlds because they just like my deck check only took like under 2 minutes. That's how fast it was. I think it's because the guy said he knows the deck in and out, so he knows like the card numbers and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Did anybody mess up on their deck list that she saw?
No, not that I know of.
mm. Which the Japanese are efficient as fuck anyway, so that doesn't surprise me that was really fast. So
yeah, the guy that I got was American. I think he like was at my regionals.
Oh, cool.
He also deck checked me, so I don't think he remembers me, but it was nice that I got the same guy to deck check.
Was he white?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you remember. I'm sorry.
I think he was the. If you guys have watched the Vanguard streams that happened at World 2, I think he was one of the commentators.
Nope. Sorry, did not watch.
I was pretty sure I was watching dual matches at that time.
It was is the one where they yell drive check, something like that. Yeah. Sorry, bad jokes. No, for real. Shout outs to that dude.
Oh yeah, but when I was like rushing my way to the venue, it kind of felt like Love Live, like when the episodes were like when they were trying to rush the venue.
Did you take the piece of toast to put it in your mouth, hoping to run into somebody?
No, I should have done that.
Oh my god, stop! I mean, it's so cringy if you just see him pull up. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have a piece of toast in your mouth?
Well, I didn't bump into anyone on the way here. Your cliches are bullshit.
Why do you have a piece of white?
Super
Why do you have a piece of white butter on your toast? That's not butter.
I can't believe it's not butter.
It's like, sure. Oh,
God.
that was good.
Alright, well, from your deck list, where did you go?
What did I write? My deck
No,
list?
from your deck list, where did you go next?
Yeah, after the whole deck check thing.
They just told us to like sit, like you can just sit wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
To
And
play
then-
or just chill?
Just to chill, yeah, just do whatever.
Yeah,
Alright.
that is it. Oops.
They were probably just basically getting everybody else set up type thing. So
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people were like play testing, some people were like playing other decks, like KP decks as well. So,
Mhm.
Who's
Oh, like,
playing Woozer? The real question.
What'd you say?
I said, where's the Woozer matchup?
Oh yeah.
that Woozer mirror match, fuck that shit. God. Nah, that was just so weird. Anyway, sorry, I just remember that one. It's like a level 3 that you put it into your you add it to your opponent's level. It was so stupid. Anyway, that's the only card that I remember from Woozer, and I refuse to ever deal with that set. Anywho, let's see. After that, so okay, for anyone who doesn't know at this point, even though AOT was basically what swept Worlds at this point, Bentley, you had taken SAO, and you were running the last shot scene on second Yuki setup.
Yeah.
So I know you had shared a picture of your deck list. Do you care if I just post that on the podcast? So
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So when so picture on screen now, and this was his setup, and
Do you have
obviously
the screen share?
I do not. I don't even have the picture is like in a folder somewhere. I have to go find it up. So
Well, I can't see it, so I
well,
don't
I'm so
know.
sorry. He shared it in the Facebook group. Anyway,
It's okay. I helped make it.
so well, you should know it
They
anyway.
helped me. Yeah.
I mean, you almost went in with 4. What was it? Austin was married alive, and I was like, Billy, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I
had
wouldn't.
3. But yeah, it was almost 4.
Yeah,
I was like, you need to calm down.
I mean it's not
Play
not
one
bad,
more,
but
play one more Suguha. Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
hell, I finally got a copy of that bitch. Anyway, so your first round opponent was who? Since sadly
It was
only
one
3
of my
rounds.
friends. Yeah, it was one of my friends that like showed me Akihabara.
Oh, cool. What was he running?
So, he was running AOT.
Ah,
He was running the red-yellow standard core build.
mm-hmm.
So his like level 1 was obviously Aaron, and his level 3 was the Mikasa Burn.
Mm-hmm. No love for
And,
that level 1 Krista though. What the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
and then like the matchup was pretty even, but then like he misplayed a lot. Like he at like some points he didn't move Aaron. He forgot to use mobility gear. Like he forgot to move with mobility gear. And then
Mhm.
another point he changed from the Mikasa 2-1 to the healer, but he didn't have the level 3 healer in the waiting room. And then at another point he only had 2 characters to swing. That was the last turn that he did to beat me. So that's the thing
nice.
about AOT is that like you could like fuck up a lot and you could still be fine as long as you just get the combo off, the level 1 combo.
Yeah, stuff is bonkers.
Yeah, and I did my best to try to compress with like Yuki. I did multiple Yukis that game.
Oh, I believe it. So
Yeah, but then I also like got to a point where I just like triggered near the end, and that didn't help me at all. So
yeah, but that's also one of the advantages. I say advantages of using SAO with that as much AOT as there is, because you don't have to worry about on reverse shenanigans. So
yeah,
it's like, oh well, Aaron screws over anyone attempting to do on reverse stuff for like fucking a TLR with the Mekons and whatnot, stuff like that. So
I think from like perspective against the AOT and SEO matchup, they're prevenly like for level 1 they both get what they want to do.
mhm.
But I feel like for AOT, like their field presence is more likely to maintain and like be consistent throughout the rest of the game because they can reuse the Aaron, and then also
Mhm.
Yuki on the field is not going to be big enough to like use backup counters, so
Mhm.
Aaron's going to get like another free farm off his combo again to repeat it as well.
Yeah, that is one of the issues there. I know one of the cards that you added into the deck to kind of help mitigate some of the low attack is that new 1/0 Kirito Asuna, where it gives like 1,000 power on your opponent's turn to all of your Avatar Net characters.
Yeah, and then it's on play, look it up to 2.
Yeah.
And then if you decide to pick one, you can add it, and then you ditch one card.
Yeah, I don't remember the specific name. That dig effect is good. Like that's actually really
It's
nice.
it's just like copy the Amelia from ReZero,
Mhm.
but it lets you grab any card, so you can grab the climaxes too.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
ReZero for English Weiss win. I'm just kidding.
That would be a pretty good deck. I mean, it gets around there, and then you can care less about what your opponent's doing.
Absolutely. So how often, because I know that being one of the new cards from Ordinal Scale, for that Kirito Asuna, how often did that like put in work as far as just making stuff, trying to wall up with it?
There was a couple. There was like my later games. It stayed on the field. Like if I just like sided or if I like had an open lane to attack with it.
Mm-hmm.
It did cause my opponents to like think about like be more careful for their attacks because like that 1,000 power is considerable enough to the point where like if I use a backup,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll actually help SAO win lanes. And then especially if you have like the Sugaha back row as well. That's
Yeah,
another
Because
1K.
her effect was when you use an act. So basically, any of your backup stuff, you could give a bonus 1,000.
Yeah,
So-
or a brainstorm.
Yeah,
So
make
like
it
your
feel
your vice commander can always be like a 3K backup for one character, or you could do like you could split it like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 as well.
Yeah.
Or you can do like 2,000, 1,000. So that's I think looking back, I feel like if I made my deck more defensive, like if I played more of like the 1/1 Asanas, like AK and can't front attack against higher levels, and just maybe focus on playing that at like level 1, and then like also maybe running an extra copy of Vice Commander Asana as like a 3-up instead of a 2-up. I feel like that might have helped against the AOT matchup, just because it'll be like less lanes for them to reverse, and like you'll obviously be plussing the field, so you won't be wasting as much cards for
That's
resources.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. And the Suguha we were talking about, the other effect she has of the on play of a climax, her effect for that. How often did that come into play for you? As far as like, how many times did you just decide to keep trying to plus off of that?
it helped when I like had Suga in hand. Like I noticed in every game though I did have Sugaha, and playing a climax was nice. Like if I had early game, like if I had the Sinon climax, I could just play that and like obviously replace itself, and just try to like rush in for damage, and then also go through your deck fast.
Absolutely. Everyone knows that the new 0-0 Kirito is really good. That thing puts in work from what I've seen.
Yeah, but one thing I did notice though, against since my 3 rounds I played were 2 AOT and 1 Fate. For the AOT matchups, like they always had a runner opening game, so that Kirito is actually pretty dead for the opening like level 0 turns and stuff like that.
That's understandable.
Yeah, so it might be good in like JP, and like it might still be good in English, but I feel like I wouldn't prioritize it as like your level 0 plan.
Oh, that's
especially
true.
Like runners and stuff, because it makes that card pretty much a 3,500 for a turn. Besides, because it'll lose the ability to save one of your characters.
Like if they throw down anything outside of a runner, they have to worry about it. But hell, even AOT has like the Mikasa runners and everything.
Yeah, and then also there's
the mirror match.
Yeah, someone might have like a stock bomb. AOT runs the stock bomb as well, like the 1K stock bomb. It's pretty annoying.
Well, even with the stock bomb, if you did the Kirito, your effect would go off first. Right? Like if you attacked with like if they had a stock bomb, and you had like if you had other characters or whatever, you swing with something else, then you swing with that level 0 Kirito. Even if that Kirito hits a stock bomb, your effect goes off first because you're turn player.
So are you saying like if a Kirito swings at the stock bomb, or if the
if the Kirito swung at a stock bomb or a reverser or what was it the clock swap reversers stuff like that. I know some people run those. Even if you do that, you would still be able to use his effect and move something back row before he gets sent to wherever.
Yeah, so. I'm just saying like generally though, you usually want to crash with one of your characters, or just like win a lane with one of your other characters and just move it to the back with the Kirito.
Oh, that's fair.
And like keep the Kirito on field.
I'll give you that one. That's a good point. You do want to try to still maintain field presence, even if your effect would end up working. That's still field presence is a thing. That's fair. Because
I'm always scared, like before my opponent hits level 1, because going to level 1 they usually play like a combo or whatever, and then, like if you don't have much field on your, like depending on how your deck will do, like if you're like running already low on climaxes, whatever, then I'm afraid to just eat all that damage.
That's understandable. So anyway, getting back to your rounds. Your first round was AOT. Your second round was against what?
Fate. It was just the mono red Ren Archer build.
Oh,
this
cool.
Did not want to win.
Shout outs to Kyle, who could not be here today.
The Fate player had like a decent, like he had a really good level 0 like setup in. And like my level 0 was okay, but then like I played the 1/1 Asuna at like level 1, and that card actually did a lot of work actually, because
that card puts in so much work.
And I did like Yuki and stuff, and like he just couldn't cancel at level 1, so he got to level 2 faster. And then he early dropped 2 of the early play Ren if you have like the copy of itself, and then the 1/0 Archer in your level zone. So he played two of those because they can obviously if they on play you get to salvage any character from your waiting up to hand. But I just kept on reusing the Sinon, the 2-1 Sinon that gains power against the level 3.
Yeah, it's a good thing we decided to actually bump that up to 2.
Yeah, and it's just
Rike's like, yeah,
it's a good
we did
trade-off. It's a good trade-off because like they spend like so much like resources trying to early play that, and then like you just kill it with the
yeah. And
then like
Sion's like,
they can always clock on court, but that's like more damage to them because they have a back row that gives all their characters on court.
Yeah, it's a level 0 Ren or something like that. I've seen Kyle run like basically every card you're talking about before, and he has this deck set up, so I'm familiar with a lot of the stuff for it. That Ren basically gives all other Rens and Archers clock on core.
Yeah.
So it's just like you can keep some shit alive for a decent bit, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I'm dealing myself more damage if I want to save anything. So
I didn't see any of the newer Fate stuff though, like the Ren and Archer level 3. I didn't see that.
Lord and Retainer, I think is what it was called. I think I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's where he's like holding her in his arms or something. Yeah.
But I pretty much was just like really compressed, and I kept on canceling, and like I was only at level 2 when the game was over, so I guess that was a really good game for me.
Let's see. Okay. Another quick question before we go to the third round. How long was each round? Because I think you said something about it was actually short. The time was shorter.
They said it was like 30 minutes around, but it didn't actually feel like that. It felt longer.
Oh, okay.
So like most people got done in time before they could even go into time. There was only like one instance where I saw like someone that kept on like going into time, but
yeah,
they still got done before like the last turn.
Yeah. I think regionals was like 40 minutes. I could be wrong on that. So either way,
I think it was 35. I think it was like 30 or 35.
I can't remember. Okay, it's just something I thought of earlier in the middle of asking about the second round. I was like, oh wait, I forgot to ask that. And then third round was against what?
AOT again. That's AOT against one of my other friends.
It's like,
so it was pretty much to make it or break it. Like whoever lost, they pretty much have to drop out because we all like told ourselves like if we drop out, if we go X2, then we're just gonna chill at Akihara. But that was the same, pretty much standard red yellow level 1 Aaron, level 3 Mikasa, and then that one was rough because opening. By the time I went through my first turn, I think I went through like 3 climaxes already. And then that was like a good indication for the opponent to just like play 1k1 during like level 0.
Let's say you ain't even got to worry. We know people who've gone through 6 climaxes at one time. It's all good.
Yep. And then it's just like if AOT, like any other deck, like if AOT like stays longer at like level 0 or whatever, then they just build up more time for them to get the Aaron combo for sure. So I tried my best to like soul rush him, but like it's the thing like AOT, like if you have the combo at level 1, then you're pretty much in good shape. But if you don't, then the deck looks really awkward. But it feels like every AOT game I played against, it's like they always have the combo at level 1 for some reason.
Yeah, it's totally not stacking, right? I'm just kidding. No,
yeah. And then near the end of the game, like I was running low cards in hand as well, so I was like really, I was like destined to lose. But then like I compressed as much as I could as at level 3. Like I didn't even play the Sinon climax. I only could play like Yuki, a Sinon heal, and like some like dummy, and then like play this Yuki combo and just try to compress more cards. Like I got to my refresh, I got to my second refresh by the time it was my opponent's turn, I think. And then he played plus 2 soul, and then I think I had 7 climaxes going back in, and I had a decent amount of cards, and I still didn't cancel any of that. Like I just took all 7 damage at level 3.
Damn, dude. It's like, all right, I just cancel any of these, and I can keep going. And nope, well, never mind.
And when I looked through my deck at the end, they were all like clunky near the end. So
he cheated. I'm just kidding. No, no, you're fine. But it's all good.
It's probably my fault for like not shuffling good enough.
Well, I mean, even then, like final cut goes to the opponent, so it's whatever. Or did he cut or tap on the last during that last bit? So
He cut.
okay, so it's him. He cheated. I'm just kidding. I don't know this dude. It's all good.
Honestly, though, yeah, if I lost, I'd rather lose to him, though, because him and I became like good friends. Like,
That's
during our
cool.
time.
See, card games. They make new friendships.
One of the conversations I heard from during my second round is like some of the Weiss players were saying like if you go X2, like after that, the tourney feels much different. If you do decide to stay longer for the tournament, it's just like you don't really care about win or losses, and you're just like the games feel more enjoyable after your second loss.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with like all those people who've been working towards it for X amount of months and whatnot. So, because you said you had to put in a lot of like practice and whatnot, like hours of practice with the deck and whatnot, and trying to learn inside and out.
Yeah, that's kind of like my fault. We're like not really getting to practice against AOT, but like I guess it's true. Like understanding like when you actually read cards, that's one thing, but when you actually get to play them in person, then it's like a different experience.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's one thing to see. It's one thing to know the effects of what they do. It's another of how to use them and how they are used and what goes off when and all that. Yeah. I understand.
I played some practice AOT games though before Worlds, like during Japan, and like my deck did pretty well. I guess it's just it all comes down to like I don't want to say all comes down to luck, but it comes down to like the situation that you're given with your hand and like how you can like do the best of that to like progress throughout the game.
Enrique, you alright over there?
Yeah, I'm just dying. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I just heard all the clicking and I'm like, what's going on? Okay, you're cool.
I'm just like shuffling.
He's had enough after one drink. After one turn off.
All right,
He's like, I don't want to even be on this anymore. No, you're cool, dude. Like I know I started asking all the questions again. Did you have any questions for Bentley?
I did actually have one, and I completely did not realize it. Because he actually brought it up. He brought it up, and I completely just not remembered. Is it the fact that you had what's her name? The VA for Kasumi from Bang Dream, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
she told me about that.
She was in the opening ceremony for like announcements, and there was like a huge crowd like surrounding the stage, so like you can't really see her.
Was it like all the fans that go to most of the idol shows and whatnot, were they holding up the glow sticks and everything?
No, it's just like random people because like the thing with the Worlds event is that anyone can actually go inside. You just get guests. You get like a name tag that says you're a guest.
Oh, for real? That's cool.
Yeah. So there's like people that just visited just to like say hi to the players and stuff like that.
There was like a viewing like kind of like area for people wanting to watch the games, right?
Oh yeah, and then the thing is like the night before, for the opening ceremony, they told us if we wanted Bushiroad stuff, we were allowed to go after the dinner. Like they had like the Bushiroad store, so you could like get sleeves and stuff or mats. And then they told us not to do it during the Worlds because when we got there was actually a huge line before Worlds started, like just of the general public. So
yeah,
and so like I said, anyone is like welcome to the Worlds venue. And like some people were like actually watching us during round one as well, just like random people, like a bunch of Japanese people. They're probably like thinking, "Ew, look at all these degenerates playing English."
Yeah, it's elitist. Yeah, well, just a little bit, right? No, just kidding. About as degenerate as me somehow timing this being podcast number 69, talking about Bentley here. Said that at the beginning of this, and he's like, "You planned this."
Feel the same though. Without spoiler.
Actually, I've never had him in on a podcast either. I need to get him in on one at one point. I meant to try to get him in for one going over the Georgia regionals, but we never got around to it. Either way. So when are you planning your next trip for going back to Japan, and how are you sneaking Taylor into the airport? I'm kidding.
Next year's Worlds, man. Next year's Worlds, we plan on going anyways, even if we don't make it. Like invite.
He's like, I'm gonna. No.
Yeah, next year.
Next year for sure. I definitely want to go just to go see everybody.
Like
Even
the
though,
thing is, like Japan is expensive, like to get there, but it's totally worth it though. Just to like see, like when you go there, it's like a whole different world.
It's a whole new world. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
it's Japan then.
Absolutely. Like,
No, but like,
like everyone who works in Japan seems like they enjoy their job. Like they don't give you like bad customer service. Like they actually care to make you happy
Mhm.
and stuff, and they're pretty friendly. And
so
so like
McDonald's over here.
compared to compared to like the like if you compare it to like an American airport, like I can understand like security, especially like what happened with like the whole terrorist things.
yeah.
Like, but usually like generally people who work in the airport are more like firm with like what they want you to do. Like they'll tell you like straight up,
Hmm.
like whatever. But then like if you go to Japan, like to the airport, they're firm, but they're not like in your face about it. They're more like, sir, can you please can you please come over here and stuff like that. Well, they don't say it in English, but they see like dozo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you get mistaken for being Japanese a lot?
Did I hear what?
Did you get mistaken for being Japanese a lot?
Yes, actually. Like people just try to like have a straight up conversation with me, and then like they know if I don't reply back, then they're like, oh, he's a gaijin, he's a foreigner.
That's where you're like, go, man.
Even when I was at because when you're about to get off the airplane from going inside Japan,
Mhm.
they make you fill out a customs form,
Mhm.
just make sure like you're not a terrorist or something, like you're like, and you're like explaining like why you're coming to Japan, like what
Oh,
you're
yeah.
bringing in, stuff like that.
Yeah, they ask you
Yeah,
like,
it's-
yeah.
And then like one of the American Airlines flight attendant, he said, "Oh, you're a returning resident from Japan." So I thought that was flattering that someone thought that I was Japanese.
Like, I mean, how do I put? Like obviously, I don't know if someone is like Japanese or Chinese until I hear them start like speaking their own language. I can tell the difference between the two, sure. But I can understand because what is your actual nationality?
Both of my parents are Laotian, but my mom's side is also mixed with Vietnamese, while my dad's side is mixed with Chinese.
Mm.
So I'm a mixed breed. I'm a dirty mixed breed.
That is an
Not
interesting
conservative at
combination.
all.
Yeah, that's an interesting combination. I understand, but it's whatever. Okay, so, oh man, what else?
For like I know for like anyone that's interested or curious about Japan, is like the language barrier isn't that bad, especially if you're like in the more popular places in Tokyo, like Akihabara, that's inside Tokyo. Like usually, generally, places in Tokyo, like the workers, like in Akihabara, they have a general knowledge of like how to speak English and like talk back to you. And like for the most part, if you want like food or if you want something, you just like point to them and like they'll like ring it up at the register and they'll like tell you how much it is and you just like pay.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that gets like portrayed in anime a whole bunch, is where you see that in the schools and whatnot, they'll have an English class. And that's because it's an actual thing, is where more often than not they do have like almost everyone takes some kind of English when they're in school. It's like, however, here I had the options between German and Spanish in my high school, and some people don't even get that. That's whatever. So
I failed my first year of English. I was so stupid.
Oh my god.
I was just lazy. I didn't do the work.
There's like other big differences in Japan. Like obviously like you can't tip in Japan because that's like considered an insult if you do tip them, because it feels like you're basically telling them that like they're not good enough for their job, so they need extra money.
Well, whereas over here it's like fucking demanded and gratuity shit is tacked
If you
on.
don't do it, they'll
you
make
know.
some Facebook post and get like millions of likes for no reason.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, if they're a girl.
yeah.
That too. I forgot.
We
And
here at Base
also,
Damage do not discriminate based on gender. No, you're fine. No.
You may not.
He's
For
like,
some
he's,
stores,
You don't speak for me.
he's like,
some
bitch.
stores
I-
they don't accept returns as well. That's another thing to keep in mind.
Oh really?
Yeah, like it'll
It-
tell you like, sorry, we don't accept returns. Like it's usually like the
But
more popular
you-
places. Like if it's like a secondhand shop place, then like obviously they would accept
It usually
returns.
depends on like, I mean, obviously it's a different culture, so I don't think I can really state this. Like, yeah, I worked in a grocery store for years, so it depended on the product for us.
Yeah.
for them, I'm certain it is completely different. For a lot of stuff, they're like, well, we don't know what the fuck you just did to this. No, we ain't taking it back. So
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, I understand that. That's fair though.
And another thing is that for like when you're walking into Japan, like obviously people are like having their own conversations, so you're allowed to do whatever. Like you can just talk to people and like be on your phone. So that's one thing. The difference, like compared to like walking in public and like riding like in transportation in Japan, I guess like you have to be more quiet and like transportation places. But then like obviously if you're in public, you can talk to everyone. And people will like shove you too, like, or they're trying to like push, not like they'll try to like go through you because they're like busy and they need to get to your place, which is understandable. But like don't like if you're going to Japan, don't be alarmed if someone does that to you because it's not like a personal insult. It's just like they're really busy.
Yeah, it's not because they're trying to start shit. It's like I got to get to where I need to fucking go. You know, that's understandable.
That's when you throw hands, cuz.
Like, you about to catch these hands, yo. No. But with that, what any other questions or closing thoughts or whatever before we wrap this up in a bit here?
Do you want to go first, Enrique?
No, you can go. I'm still trying to think about this question.
Okay.
Go for it.
Honestly, like regardless how, like, even if like you stop playing Weiss or like you want to compete for Worlds for next year and stuff, like if you can, like obviously if you play Weiss and there's like a reason why you like anime and stuff, like I think everyone should in their life try to experience Japan at least once. It's definitely not a trip that like you can do in like a couple of days. You have to actually have at least like a week for just one place. That's how massive Japan is. Like Japan is like a small like country, but there's like so much to do in Japan as well, like the culture and like I think like at least 2 weeks is good. But there's one thing with like going to tourist places and like it's like crowded and stuff, but there's another thing actually going to like other places like temples like I went to just like see how like everyday people are. I walked to like different neighborhoods and I like went to like a neighborhood sushi place, like a sushi ground, and like just seeing people like with their families and like how they like normally behave and like live on like their everyday basis in Japan is like another experience. It's like it's a whole different like culture and it's a very humbling experience just to see how like different types of people behave.
Which you say
it's kind of like a good way to open yourself to realize like if you're from the U.S., the country sucks. The U.S. sucks.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we blow the country, but like seeing how other people like are raised and how like they have, I guess, manners compared to like us.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a lot better.
No, absolutely. We people over here don't give a shit for a lot of stuff.
Nobody cares about anybody over here.
Yeah, Japan, their mindset is more like group oriented. Like they care about others. It's more like the United States is more like individual based, which is like everyone wants to accomplish their own like American dream and stuff like that, which is understandable.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you can accomplish your dream not being a dick. Yeah.
And then also convenience stores are like really good.
Oh no,
like
absolutely.
Like everything is like cheap there, and then like the food there is like pretty good for a convenience store. Like if you go to 7-Eleven in America, like you would never think about ordering sushi there. But if you go to 7-Eleven in Japan and you order sushi, like
it's legit.
Totally perfect. It's cheap. Yeah, and then even if you order like hot food, like if you order like microwavable food, like they'll ask you if you want to like heat it up and stuff like that, which is nice. Like you don't expect that from like a 7-Eleven in America. And then they have like little campaigns where like if you buy like $10 worth or whatever, you get like a little prize as well. It's like nice.
Hey man, I go to 7-Eleven sometimes to get some like heated up hot dogs.
Absolutely.
Or holes. Heat up my
one of the other things I remembered you had said, one of the places you said you had gone, you had went to like one of the Love Live shrines?
Yeah, it was the Love Live Shrine. It was.
Oh God!
It's called the Kanda Shrine. The real life, it's called Kanda Shrine, but like Love Live fans know it as the Nozomi Shrine because that's where Nozomi worked at, and that's where they practice with like the steps. Like there is I went up the steps and it's actually like 70 steps. So Muse had to go through that up and down every day, and they have to go really fast too.
Did you challenge anybody else to a race up the steps?
No, it was just me. I went on the last day when we were about to leave, so I could it was snowing too, so it was kind of surreal just being able to see an actual anime site.
Oh yeah, one of the other things you had posted was well, my my flight just got delayed due to the weather. I think this is God trying to tell me to stay in Japan.
Yeah.
No, it was more he's so good at canceling that he just cancels his flights.
Oh, God. I saw that joke. I saw that joke. It got posted on the Facebook group. That shit was great. I died.
My favorite thing about the weekend is just seeing Christian's utterly depressed face.
Bruh, that picture got passed around so much. I feel for the dude. Damn, that had to have sucked royally.
Oh yeah, it sucked, but it felt so good for the rest of the world.
I had to stay the night. I had to stay at the night at the airport and stuff because the snow was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to go use the restroom, I literally would just leave my stuff there, and I'd come back and no one would touch my stuff. So that's how cool Japan is too, with crime.
That would not happen in
it would get jacked within minutes.
It was
second
you would have come back and it would have been just squeaky clean. It would have been sparkly. There wouldn't people would have robbed the damn dust. I'm just saying. But anywho, or the seat wouldn't be there. Somebody would have unbolted it from the floor and taken the seats. I don't know. Whatever.
Jesus.
Just saying. Don't go to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Anyway. Anywho, with that, as far as other closing ideas, statements, whatever, I've always wanted to go to Japan, and hearing your experience of it, I want to go even more. Whether that's for Weiss, whether that's for whatever, and just so much stuff. They announced so many other sets, as far as what we're getting. Japan's getting a fucking Godzilla set. What the fuck?
That's what I'm
We're getting TTGL for English.
Gurren Lagann. Oh god, that's gonna be so good. Dude.
I want to go to this year. I want to aim for Nats this year for sure. So
I would love to be able to go to Nats.
So, find in New York, and then I want to obviously aim to go on a trip to Japan for next year's Worlds with Beasley, and then that's so much money. And then I also want to get Darling in the Franxx.
Oh god, yeah, no, that's another one of the sets JP's getting.
Yeah, I definitely want that set, and then hopefully it's good. If it's good and it stays meta, then I'll just play that at Nets. But I don't think Vivid Strike might last that long because everybody plays around that set right now.
Yeah,
and then
that's the thing with
I might pick up ReZero too.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing with Weiss is that I think for a card game it is kind of pricey if you want to go out to different places to just compete or just meet people. Because Weiss is not as popular as Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic, so there's not gonna be a venue every state or whatever, so people have to travel. But I feel it's worth it because you get to make so many friends and so many memories and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I've made more friends off of card games than I've ever had any other way.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to make memes.
There's a place for everyone, good sir. Believe me. Whether that meme is the, red echidna, or that meme is the face of someone so utterly defeated that they should have won but they did not. I'm just saying.
But yeah,
all
definitely.
The memes.
No, if you travel, just have fun. I definitely had fun on the first night, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh.
Well then.
Sorry, Taylor.
That's for another podcast.
Sorry, Taylor.
That's for the Pornhub podcast.
I'm gonna apologize to YouTube. Yes, I'm just kidding. But with that, I realize it's getting on up in time, so we are gonna go ahead and sign off for now. I want to say thank you to Bentley, WaifuWars. Please check out his channel. Thank you to Enrique. He ain't got a channel. He needs to make one.
That's a lot of work.
I'm always glad to be here.
I'll just dig right off feeling.
All right. And thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to. If not, hey, thanks for listening to us rant this long about card games and glorious Nippon. But yeah, it's
chance. Watch Pop Team Epic. Just saying.
Fuck no.
Please.
And with that, we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.